Believing that self-learning is possible, especially when no one supports your journey, is one of the greatest acts of courage you can give yourself. Most people wait for validation, for approval, for someone to say, yes, you can do it. But strength is born the moment you decide to move forward, even when the world is silent. Think about it. Every meaningful transformation in history began with one person believing in themselves before anyone else did. When you choose to learn alone, to grow alone, to rise alone, you are planting a seed of independence that no external force can take away from you. And yes, it is hard when people around you laugh, when they doubt you, when they say things like, why are you trying this? Or you can't improve alone. But remember, their doubts are not your destiny. Their disbelief is not your limitation. They only reflect the boundaries of their own courage, not yours. You must look into the mirror and say, even if no one stands with me, I will stand with myself. There is unbelievable power in that declaration. It lifts you, it pushes you, it fuels you. When you believe that self-learning is possible, you stop depending on circumstances and start depending on commitment. You stop waiting for motivation and start creating discipline. You stop begging for support and start becoming your own support system. Every time you pick up a book, watch a lesson, or practice a skill, you prove to yourself that you are capable of growth, and slowly, that belief becomes your oxygen. It keeps you going on the days when doubt tries to whisper in your ear. So hold that belief close, guard it, grow it. It is the fire that will carry you through every challenge, every setback, every lonely moment. Believe that you can learn, because the moment you believe, you already have the power to become steady. Creating a small, consistent English routine that turns your home into your classroom is one of the most effective ways to grow, because routine is the silent force that shapes your future. You don't need a fancy institute, a native teacher, or a perfect study table. What you truly need is a simple, daily system that keeps you moving, keeps you learning, keeps you progressing. When you commit to even 10 minutes a day, those minutes slowly become your strength. Your home becomes the place where your transformation begins. Imagine waking up and giving yourself a small promise. Today I will learn one new sentence, one new word, one new idea. It sounds small, but these small actions create unstoppable momentum. Your routine becomes your accountability partner. It nudges you, whispers to you, reminds you that progress doesn't happen by accident, it happens through consistent effort. Make your room your English zone. Put a notebook on your desk. Keep a dictionary on your phone. Stick little notes on your mirror. Play English audio in the background while doing chores. Let the language surround you, support you, and slowly settle into your mind. Consistency teaches your brain that learning is not a burden, but a daily ritual. And when learning becomes a ritual, it becomes unbreakable. Don't underestimate the power of repetition. Reading the same paragraph every day, practicing the same sentence every afternoon, or listening to the same audio every night may feel boring, but this repetition is exactly what strengthens your foundation. It builds fluency, it builds confidence, it builds identity. A routine created at home teaches you discipline without pressure, growth without stress, improvement without comparison. Every small practice session whispers to your mind that you are getting better, stronger, sharper. Your home, once ordinary, becomes the place where your English journey ignites with passion and purpose. Learning from mistakes with grace is one of the most powerful attitudes you can adopt, because mistakes are not signs of failure. They are signs of movement, signs of effort, signs that you are trying to grow beyond your limits. Too many people fear mistakes so much that they stop learning altogether. They hold back their voice, they hold back their ideas, they hold back their confidence just because they are scared of being wrong. But if you never allow yourself to be wrong, you also never allow yourself to become better. Every mistake you make in English, whether it's mispronouncing a word, forgetting a phrase, or mixing grammar, is actually a stepping stone that pushes you forward. Instead of getting embarrassed, smile at your mistakes. Embrace them. Let them teach you. When you learn with grace, you remove shame from the process. You tell yourself, This is part of my journey, not the end of it. And that mindset changes everything. Suddenly, practice becomes lighter. Speaking becomes easier. Progress becomes faster. Growth becomes natural. You must remind yourself that every expert was once a beginner who made countless mistakes. They didn't grow because they were perfect. They grew because they refused to give up. Your mistakes are proof that you are alive in the learning process, that you are taking risks, that you are daring to step outside your comfort zone. And comfort has never created champions. When you learn to appreciate your mistakes, you start seeing them not as weaknesses but as lessons carved especially for you. Every correction becomes a gift. Every error becomes an insight. Every setback becomes a setup for a stronger comeback. So don't hide from your mistakes. Let them guide you. Let them strengthen your foundation. Let them shape your confidence from within. Because the learner who can fall and rise with grace becomes unstoppable. Surrounding yourself with English through books, audio, visuals, and daily practice is like creating an environment where your mind has no choice but to grow. Language is not learned only through study. It is absorbed through exposure. The more you see it, hear it, speak it, and feel it, the more naturally it becomes a part of you. Imagine waking up and the first sound you hear is an English podcast playing softly in the background. You may not understand every word, but your brain is receiving rhythm, tone, and flow. That exposure alone strengthens your foundation without you even realizing it. When you read English books, even simple ones, you invite new words into your world. Every paragraph becomes a conversation. Every sentence becomes a lesson. Every story becomes a teacher. And when you watch English videos or movies, you aren't just learning vocabulary, you are learning expression, confidence, pronunciation, and context. You begin to understand how real people communicate, how emotions are expressed, how ideas are shared. These things cannot always be taught in a classroom. They are learned through immersion. Surround yourself with English like you. Surround yourself with fresh air. Let it be everywhere. Put English quotes on your wall. Set your phone language to English. Write your to-do list in English. Speak to yourself while cooking, cleaning, walking. Let the language live with you, breathe with you, grow with you. The more English enters your daily life, the less foreign it feels. It stops being a subject and becomes a habit, and habits build mastery. This constant exposure trains your brain to think in English without forcing it. It teaches your tongue to move naturally. It sharpens your listening, strengthens your understanding, and boosts your confidence. When you surround yourself completely with English, you are telling your mind, this is my world now. And slowly, beautifully, powerfully, your world begins to change with you. Practicing speaking, even when no one is listening, is one of the most courageous and transformative habits you can develop because language is alive only when it is spoken. Many learners make the mistake of waiting for the perfect audience or the perfect moment to speak, but perfection is a myth. And waiting is a trap. If you want to master English, you must speak boldly, even if your words stumble, even if your accent isn't perfect, even if your sentences feel awkward. Your voice is your instrument, and the more you play it, the stronger it becomes. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Narrate your day aloud. Describe the world around you. Ask questions and answer them out loud. It may feel strange at first, and yes, you might feel silly, but that's exactly where growth begins. Every word you utter, every sentence you form, is a rehearsal for real conversations. It trains your tongue, your mind, and your confidence simultaneously. Silence does not teach fluency, action does. Speaking alone is not just practice, it is self-belief in motion. You are telling yourself, I am capable, I can communicate, I can express my thoughts clearly. Over time, those private conversations transform into public confidence. When you eventually speak with others, your words flow naturally because your mind has already rehearsed hundreds of times in solitude. And don't just speak the easy words. Challenge yourself with new vocabulary, new phrases, and new ideas. Mistakes will happen, but that is proof that you are stretching, that you are learning, that you are growing beyond fear. Speaking alone teaches independence, courage, and resilience. It makes you unstoppable because fluency does not come from waiting for approval. It comes from daring to raise your voice, daring to make mistakes, daring to insist that your ideas, your thoughts, and your voice matter. Every word spoken alone is a step toward freedom, mastery, and unstoppable confidence. Celebrating small wins is one of the most overlooked yet powerful ways to stay motivated, because progress is rarely a giant leap. It is a series of tiny, consistent steps that eventually become extraordinary growth. When you practice English alone at home, it is easy to feel invisible, to think that no one notices your effort, to feel that your hard work goes unnoticed. But here is the truth. Every word you learn, every sentence you speak, every mistake you correct is a victory, and you must honor it. Don't wait for someone else to praise you. Don't wait for a certificate, a test score, or applause. Take a moment every day to acknowledge yourself. Did you learn 5 new words today? That is progress. Did you read a paragraph aloud without hesitation? That is a victory. Did you speak to yourself confidently even though you felt awkward? That is strength. Celebrating these small wins trains your mind to focus on growth rather than perfection. It transforms practice from a chore into a joyful journey. Gratitude and recognition of your own efforts fuel momentum. The more you celebrate, the more you reinforce the behavior you want to see. Your brain begins to associate learning with positivity, excitement, and empowerment rather than stress and frustration. And when challenges arise, as they always will, these small victories act as reminders that you are capable, that you are progressing, that you are building mastery step by step. Small wins compound into confidence, fluency, and courage. Every time you pat yourself on the back for progress, no matter how minor it seems, you are building resilience. You are teaching yourself that success is a habit, not a destination. And this habit, once cultivated, becomes unstoppable because it celebrates effort, honors growth, and fuels the relentless pursuit of improvement.